Did you know that one of ancient Egypt's most successful and fascinating pharaohs was actually a woman who ruled in the guise of a man? Her story is both extraordinary and surprising, challenging our assumptions about gender and leadership in the ancient world. Hatshepsut, for over 2 remarkable decades, held the throne not as a mere queen regent, but as a full-fledged king, wielding all the power and authority of Egypt's greatest rulers. She donned the false beard, royal kilt, and the crowns of Egypt, boldly defying every convention of her time and presenting herself as the living embodiment of kingship. Her reign was so effective, so transformative, that later generations, perhaps threatened by her legacy, tried to erase it from history, chiseling her name and image from monuments. Hatshepsut wasn't supposed to be king. Egyptian ideology demanded a male pharaoh, a living Horus, the divine son of Osiris, to rule the land. Yet, she navigated this world with extraordinary political genius, using propaganda, religious symbolism, and clever alliances to legitimize her rule and win the support of priests and officials. Her story challenges everything we think we know about gender, power, and the possibilities for women in the ancient world. She didn't seize power violently. Instead, she transformed herself from regent to co-ruler, then senior king, through careful use of royal imagery, ritual, and public works. Her reign brought prosperity, massive building projects, flourishing trade expeditions, and a period of peace and stability that benefited all of Egypt. For centuries, her name was lost, chiseled from monuments, omitted from king lists, and nearly forgotten, until rediscovered by archaeologists in the 19th century. Hatshepsut's hidden reign is a tale of ambition, political skill, and the enduring power of a woman who dared to become king, leaving a legacy that still inspires us today. Hatshepsut was born around 1507 BCE, the cherished daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I and Queen Aimos. Her birth into this powerful lineage gave her a unique and formidable claim to authority, setting her apart from many royal women of her time. Raised within the opulent royal court, Hatshepsut received an exceptional education in statecraft, diplomacy, and religion. She was a true product of a victorious dynasty, learning the intricate workings of power from an early age. Her status as the daughter of the great royal wife was crucial. Egyptian legitimacy and royal bloodlines flowed through the female line, making her position especially significant in the eyes of the court and the gods. Later, Hatshepsut would claim that her father had personally chosen her as his successor, a story that blended royal propaganda with possible truth, strengthening her right to rule. When Thutmose I died, the throne passed not to Hatshepsut, but to her half-brother Thutmose II, the son of a lesser wife. This was a common practice to maintain dynastic continuity. To solidify his claim and unite the royal bloodlines, Thutmose II married Hatshepsut, making her the great royal wife, the highest and most influential position a woman could hold in Egypt. This marriage placed Hatshepsut at the very heart of power, deeply involved in both governance and the religious life of the kingdom, where she began to build her own network of influence. As queen consort, Hatshepsut actively participated in ceremonies and rituals, using these public roles to strengthen her authority and reputation among the elite. She and Thutmose II had one daughter, Neferuri, but no male heir to secure the dynasty's future, a fact that would soon become critical. Thutmose II's early and unexpected death left a dangerous power vacuum. There was no direct male heir from the great royal wife, and the court was thrown into uncertainty. This crisis set the stage for Hatshepsut's extraordinary rise, as she faced a kingdom in need of strong leadership and stability. Her ambition, intelligence, and political acumen would soon be tested as never before, as she navigated the treacherous waters of royal succession. The future of the kingdom and the legacy of her family now depended on Hatshepsut's next move, a decision that would change Egyptian history forever. Hatshepsut's title as God's wife of Amun was more than ceremonial. It gave her real religious and economic power. As high priestess of Amun-Ra, she controlled temple wealth and forged alliances with the powerful priesthood. This role made her the divine consort of Amun, granting her sacred authority independent of her husband. When Thutmose II died, his young son Thutmose III was too young to rule. Tradition called for the king's mother to act as regent, but Hatshepsut, as great royal wife and God's wife, claimed the regency. She ruled as regent, depicted alongside Thutmose III as the dutiful caretaker. Behind the scenes, she consolidated power, building alliances with priests and officials. Hatshepsut was not content to rule for another. She was preparing for a transformation. Her command of religious office was a masterstroke, setting the stage for her unprecedented next step. The groundwork for her rise to king was now firmly in place. As regent, Hatshepsut maintained Egypt's stability, presenting herself as a traditional female caretaker. Art showed her behind Thutmose III, but subtle changes began. Her image grew more prominent, her titles more royal. She slowly adopted pharaonic regalia, testing the boundaries of her power. By her 7th year as regent, Hatshepsut made her boldest move. She crowned herself pharaoh, co-ruler, with Thutmose III. She took the throne named Matkare, linking her rule to divine order. This was a political masterstroke. She didn't depose Thutmose III, but became senior king. Years of alliance building paid off. Key officials like Hapusaneb and Senenmut supported her. With their backing, she secured her position and legitimacy. Hatshepsut transformed herself from regent to eternal king. Egypt now had 2 pharaohs, but only one truly ruled. Once crowned, Hatshepsut launched a sophisticated campaign to justify her rule as a female king. Statues and reliefs depicted her with masculine features, royal kilt, and false beard, symbols of kingship. Hieroglyphs used masculine pronouns, but sometimes mixed in feminine endings, reflecting her unique status. This blend of art and language made her rule acceptable to both people and gods. To further legitimize her reign, she commissioned reliefs at Deir el-Bahari depicting her divine birth. Amun-Ra himself, disguised as her father, foretold her destiny to rule. This myth bypassed traditional inheritance, claiming her kingship was divinely ordained. The story was carved in stone, making her divine mandate public and unassailable. Hatshepsut became both woman and king, chosen by the gods. Her propaganda was as innovative as her reign. With her rule secure, Hatshepsut launched one of Egypt's most ambitious building programs. She restored neglected temples, presenting herself as a restorer of order. Her crowning achievement was her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, designed by Senenmut, a masterpiece of architecture and propaganda. The temple's walls depicted her divine birth and a legendary trading expedition to Punt. The Punt expedition brought back incense, myrrh, gold, and live myrrh trees, symbols of prosperity and piety. These achievements were celebrated in vivid reliefs, contrasting her peaceful reign with the wars of other pharaohs. By securing resources for temple rituals, she showed her devotion to the gods and her people. Her reign was defined by exploration, commerce, and stability, not conquest. Hatshepsut's monuments cemented her divine right to rule. Hatshepsut's 22-year reign was marked by peace and economic growth. She focused on rebuilding trade networks and investing in infrastructure, not military conquest. Trade missions, especially to Punt, brought wealth and vital resources to Egypt. This prosperity fueled a flourishing of art and culture. Her temple reliefs are among the finest of the era. Official portraits showed her as a male king, but other works revealed a more nuanced, graceful style. Thutmose III remained co-ruler, gaining military experience, while Hatshepsut managed civil and religious affairs. This balance allowed Egypt to thrive, with both rulers playing their part. Hatshepsut presided over a golden age, her skillful leadership ensuring stability and national pride. Her legacy was one of peace, prosperity, and artistic achievement. After more than 2 decades of remarkable rule, Hatshepsut suddenly vanished from the historical record around 1458 BCE, leaving behind a mystery that would puzzle scholars for centuries. There is no evidence to suggest a violent end. Most historians believe she likely died of illness in her 50s, as was common for the time. Her mummy, identified in 2007 after years of searching, showed clear signs of diabetes and cancer, which may have contributed to her death. With Hatshepsut gone, Thutmose III finally became the sole ruler of Egypt, well prepared after years of serving as head of the army and learning statecraft in her shadow. At first, he honored Hatshepsut's memory, ensuring she was buried in the Valley of the Kings and leaving her grand monuments and temples untouched. But nearly 20 years later, a dramatic shift occurred. He began a systematic campaign to erase her from history, targeting her legacy. Workers were ordered to chisel away her images and names, smash her statues, and replace her royal cartouches with those of male kings, erasing her presence from public memory. This was a calculated move to restore what was seen as the unbroken line of male pharaohs, reinforcing traditional power structures. In ancient Egypt, a female king was viewed as a disruption to Ma'at, the sacred cosmic order that governed society and the universe. By erasing her, Thutmose III aimed to prevent future women from claiming the throne, hoping to discourage any challenge to male authority. Official king lists would now show only male succession, rewriting Egypt's history to fit the ideology of the time and conceal her reign. Hatshepsut's legacy was buried deep, her reign nearly lost to time, hidden beneath layers of sand and secrecy. Yet, her story was not gone forever. Centuries later, archaeologists and historians would rediscover her achievements, bringing her remarkable legacy back into the light. For centuries, Hatshepsut's erasure was nearly complete, her name forgotten, her temple misattributed. History was written by the victors, and her story vanished from the official record. In the 19th century, Egyptologists began to uncover the truth, puzzled by inscriptions mixing feminine pronouns with kingly titles. Decades of archaeological work slowly revealed the reality of a female pharaoh. Hatshepsut's story is a lesson in power, ambition, and the fragility of legacy. She proved a woman could rule as effectively as any man, presiding over peace and prosperity. Her erasure shows how easily inconvenient truths can be lost. Rediscovering her reign forces us to rethink gender and power in history. Hatshepsut's life reminds us to question the histories we inherit, and to seek out the voices once silenced. Her legacy endures, inspiring us to look deeper into the past and celebrate those who dared to defy convention.